Yo, what's good, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Correct Opinion. It's been a minute. I've been watching the NBA playoffs. Um, I got most of it right, but I didn't tell y'all. I've been hiding in the shadows. Uh, but y'all gotta believe me, okay? But um, I'm excited for the Western Conference Finals, man. Spurs versus OKC. This is the matchup that I thought was going to happen all along. I'm excited that it did come to fruition. Um, I think it's going to be one of the best conference finals in a while. I guess it's the best one, the first conference finals with two MVP finalists since 2015 when it was Curry versus Harden. Um, it's gonna be a real good matchup. I got the Spurs taking it. Spurs taking it in six. Um, I had them winning the Trailblazers in four. They won in five. I had them winning against the Wolves in six. They got it done in six. That last game was impressive. How Castle was balling out. I mean, he was like 6 for 6 from three at one point, or 5 for 5 from three. He had 30 points, getting in the lane. The guards were just getting in the lane at will against Minnesota. Um, I think I think they're physical enough at the guards in San Antonio to get through OKC's defense. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest differences is that they can play with that physicality. The Timberwolves are trying to beat up on the Spurs because they knew they weren't better, and they were trying to beat up on them. Wemby was getting beat up on. Um, that is playoff basketball, and Wemby had to do his thing to retaliate. He had to do it. I was yelling at the TV, clapping. I was like, "Yes, Wemby, you had to do it, bro," because they was just being physical. He had to draw a line. He did, and you move on. So um, I like what I've seen from San Antonio so far. OKC, man, those two sweeps, I definitely knew they were going to sweep the Lakers. I thought the Suns could give them a little trouble, but they swept them too. Uh, OKC looks just as good as they did last year. Honestly, they do. So it's gonna be one for the books, man. Uh, but yeah, I just Limby is the difference, bro. Limby is the difference. I think everything else on these teams is really equal. Uh, I just think Wemby is just the ultimate, impact player. Right now in the league, he's the most impactful player in the league. I mean, that game three versus the Timberwolves, the first road game they played, the first 5 minutes. I mean, he had 10 points, he had 4 blocks, he had 6 rebounds. Like in those 5 minutes, he is just so dominant, bro. I've almost never seen a player like that. The only player that can do that, like you feel that impact of their games right now, I would say is Steph, but he doesn't do it on defense. He does it, on offense. So he doesn't do it on both. But Wemby's defense is that impactful. He's like a Steph 3 point barrage on defense. So I love watching Wemby play. He's becoming one of my new favorite players. So uh, yeah, man, it's hard to even explain. He's gonna win 10 defensive player years in a row. It feels like, bro, he's gonna win the block titles every year. I mean, the first unanimous defensive player of the year. It's crazy to watch the beginning of that, bro. I don't know who's gonna challenge him for that defensive player of the year uh, award. It's gonna be tough. The only way he wouldn't get it is if he got injured, you know. So it's gonna be crazy. His accolades are gonna be Hall of Fame, like insane GOAT level stats Wemby is gonna put up, especially on defense. So uh, I'm excited, man. The first conference finals for him. Uh, it's gonna be a test. It's a test. So I'm ready for this game one tonight. Uh, I think OKC is definitely they could definitely two-peat. Shit, they could definitely three-peat. They're that good. I just think this is a bad matchup for them. It's a bad matchup for them. Wemby's going to be able to roll. They do not have shooters on OKC like that. Isaiah Joe is a great shooter, and then I don't know about anybody else. Um, AJ Mitchell playing his ass off, but I think Wemby's going to have a lot more freedom than he would in a different series, maybe like against Boston or something like that, where they just have all shooters. He's going to be able to be in the paint a lot more. So I just think that's the matchup problem that OKC has had. Is that was the main issue. They lost 4 out of 5. Is that Wemby has ultimate freedom against them because nobody can shoot on that team, really. Even Lou Dort hit a couple threes. He really can't shoot. He gets open shots because of SGA. So and excuse me, and I just that's the series I'm ready to see. That's the series I'm ready to see. Now moving on to the East, I did like the Cavs' chances to get to the conference finals. That game 7, I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to win in 6, but they made it go to 7. Detroit, they just have a lot of offensive issues. They do not have any. The Pistons just do not have any outs on offense. They're in jail on offense a lot because Cade is the only option that scares anybody. And Tobias is a good player. He's a good third option. But if he has to be your second option for a whole playoffs, you're going to go on the second round. So that's really what happened to them. Now, if they make a trade to get Lauri Markkanen or there was somebody else they were talking about. But if they get somebody like that, I would take the Pistons next year. I would take them coming out of the East. But I knew this year I did not have them doing that. And the Cavs did what they had to do. James Harden, though, Game 7, he went 2 for 10, went 0 for 6. Turnovers, like that was peak James Harden game 7 performance. And he's still doing that. 17 years, never missed the playoffs. 17 years, he's still having these game 7s where he's a no-show. I mean, it's the most insane, great Hall of Fame sports player playoff record I could ever imagine. Like, I've never seen anything like James Harden streaking in the playoffs. It's insane. And I don't know. He does need to be held accountable. I feel like the media heads are finally talking about it. Like Nick Wright was saying something. Other people were saying it. Like everybody finally jumped in and noticed these stats, bro. If you go 2 for 10 and 0 for 6 from 3 every series, he does this every series. He does it multiple times in a series. You cannot be top 3 shooting guard. You can't. You can't. You're not even close to D Wade. D Wade was a clutch playoff performer. So don't put him in that category. Definitely don't put him on Kobe's category because that's just disrespectful. Like you cannot do what he does in the playoffs and be considered top 4 shooting guard all time. I'm sorry, you can't. I'd take AI, D Wade, Kobe, and Jordan over James Harden. And I just think that is really what the issue is going to be against the Knicks. Because the Knicks have been playing their ass off. They've been mad impressive. Mad impressive. I don't know, man. I think they've been playing the best this whole playoffs. Like, they've been playing the best all playoffs. Their team's just coming together like at the perfect time. They're just playing. They're really playing for each other right now. I think New York will make the finals. I think they'll give anybody that comes out of the West trouble, and that's me, and I'm picking San Antonio to win the whole thing. So I think they are that good. I don't think they're really fraudulent at all. Even though the East has been, weak, it's been weaker conference for decades now, almost. I mean, ever since I've been watching basketball, it's always been a weaker conference for the most part. But I do think they're a legitimate team. I do think the Knicks are a legitimate team. To phrase it this way, if Minnesota was in the East, I think they would be in the conference finals. And they were the 3rd best team in the West. You know what I mean? So the East is, it's always been like that. If Minnesota goes to the East because of um, the expansion teams. They're talking about realigning Minnesota in the Eastern Conference. I think Anthony Edwards can get himself to the finals like multiple times. So I would love to see that. I would love to see that happen. That would be crazy. And I think Anthony Edwards would go on like a LeBron type run, a Jordan type run in the East. Because if they somehow could get realigned to that, oh, they're running shit. They are running shit. Them, Boston, they would be running shit. Um, but not to take away from the Knicks though, the Knicks have been playing lights out basketball. I mean, there was the one play, I think that was that against Philly or was Atlanta? It was Atlanta, but they won the closeout game and they're up 40 and Deuce McBride is still hustling, still in the inbounds play with 10 seconds left in the quarter, like in the third quarter, like, and they get a three. Jalen Brunson gets a three out of it. Like that shows me that they got that championship want right now. So the Knicks, I'm taking the Knicks in. I'm taking the Knicks in six. I'm taking the Knicks in six. I do think Donovan Mitchell's going to ball out for the Cavs because that's his home state and he balls out against the Knicks. So I do think he's going to do that. But I just think the rest of the Knicks team is just too good. I mean, OG, if he's healthy, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win at 5 or 6, honestly. And if it went to a game 7, Harden's going to be a no-show. So I would take the Knicks in 7 too, but it's Knicks are going to win the series. Knicks in 6. So place your bets. You know what I mean? It's going to be Knicks, Spurs in the finals. That's my bet. I'm locking in right now. That's what I've been seeing through the playoffs. Uh, that's what I see, man. That's gonna be the matchup. I feel like that is gonna be the matchup. So we will see. Uh, game one, game one tonight. Conference final starts. Probably my favorite time in basketball. Love the conference finals even more than the finals, to be honest with you. So uh, we gonna tap in with y'all. I just wanted to get y'all my predictions. And yeah, we gonna be back for the finals. I'll try to get everybody on, and we gonna do that for the finals. All right. Wow, sign it out.